Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. Welcome to today's reading. For those of you who are new here, thank you for tuning in. I do these collective readings and energy updates every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are feeling a resonance with my energy and you want to stay tuned in to this collective, then I do recommend subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications so that you get notified whenever I post new content, downloads, information, and updates. So I'm going to go ahead and start by shuffling the energy oracle cards, but there is something that I actually want to address first. And this is going to be a very specific message for a grid worker. So I've talked about grid workers previously on the channel, but essentially a grid worker is a very high level empath with the ability to very clearly sense, feel, and pick up on energies, not just of people, but actually of physical environments, cities, places, ancient sites, geographical landscapes, that kind of thing. When you are a grid worker, you are naturally very in tune with Earth's frequency, and you may even notice that certain fluctuations in your energy actually mirror the energy of the planet. So the Schumann resonance, if that's something that you happen to keep up with. Now, this will especially be something that is significant for you. Let's say if you travel to a new place or a big city and you can find yourself in these new places starting to feel very overwhelmed, but also very exhilarated. This is because as a grid worker, you are again capable of taking in energy from places geographically to a greater extent, a much greater extent than the general populace. But that wasn't really the message specifically. That's just the group that I'm addressing. The message is actually what you need to understand is being a grid worker means that you have the ability, and I just saw my lights flicker. That feels like a sign in and of itself, because what I was going to say is you have the ability to quite literally shift the energy of a room. To shift the energy, not just of a room, let's make it even bigger, the energy of a city, the energy of a country, of an area, of a site physically, a geographical location. And so know that wherever you've been planted geographically on the world, wherever you were born, wherever you grew up, you were planted there for a very specific reason. And I'm getting chills, which is always my sign of spiritual confirmation. But you were planted there in that very specific orchestrated position because by you existing there, you've actually emanated this powerful frequency your entire life, by the way, even when you weren't conscious of it, that has completely shifted. And specifically, I'm hearing like you're grounding in or reinforcing light in that space. So I feel I'm speaking to someone who has always felt a little out of place in their physical environment, maybe your hometown or your city, your local area. Something about it may have always felt a little dissonant to you. And maybe at this point, you've even moved away from it in some cases. For some of you, I'm hearing you may have moved away and came back. That may be true for some as well. But here's what you need to understand. It's that although your entire life, you may have felt some dissonance around where you were. Now, for some of you, this could even go deeper. This could even be about the family that you were born into and feeling really different from the people around you in your family, your actual family members. For others of you, this could be your classmates, your schoolmates, people around you growing up, just always feeling like there was something so different about you. It's because you were always meant to be different, because you are sharing this, I'm hearing this presence, this energy that has always affected that space or that place in a really positive way. Now, as I said, maybe you've moved away from that location, or maybe you felt guided to go to different places. This is another major sign of being a grid worker, where you feel called to travel or to visit certain places. This doesn't even have to be long distance travel. This could just be going to a new store or a new park or a new place, just like going where you feel called or guided intuitively, but it's like a physical rerouting of yourself or a new physical location. Whenever you feel this call and you're really in that kind of high vibrational space, which you naturally seem to be in most of the time, you can know that there is a reason for it, because there may be actually a collective in that space that is calling you into it for the purpose, of course, at this higher self level. I'm talking subconsciously. They aren't necessarily consciously manifesting you there, but their higher self is desiring a shift in frequency in their location, and your presence brings that shift in frequency. And so what you need to know is, when you, for some reason, I keep getting something about like panic attacks or anxiety. So maybe that's something that someone struggles with, like actually viscerally feeling panicked or feeling anxious, or maybe that's something that you've struggled with in the past. But what you need to know is that when you feel those sensations, they actually go both ways. And here's what I mean by this. You aren't just passively like being victimized by this energy, although I'm getting it may have felt that way for much of your life. Like this energy is just coming at you and you're feeling overwhelmed by it, or you're feeling ungrounded by it, or you're feeling anxious. But what you need to know, and I hope this helps to reframe this for you, is whenever you feel that overwhelm or that anxiety, did you know that that is actually a sign that you are transmuting in that moment actively the energy of that space? The same is true of people that you're around. If you're in a group of people and you suddenly start to feel a little ungrounded, a little overwhelmed, yes, of course, set your boundaries, take care of yourself, pull back. I mean, you are precious. Your energy is precious. You deserve that care and nurturing. So always care for yourself. But what I'm saying here is, you may have always thought that this was a weakness in the past because other people didn't understand this gift and may have labeled it. They would see you getting ungrounded or getting overwhelmed or carrying a lot physically, emotionally. And what they may not have realized is the reason you were reacting that way is actually because of a process of transmutation that was taking place within your physical body and within your energetic field. So essentially, when you were feeling a little anxious, a little ungrounded, a little overwhelmed, that was your conscious and subconscious mind actually signaling to you there is a process of alchemization happening here. There is a transmutation happening here. So essentially, you were feeling yourself filtering this energy around you, being this positive force, this beacon of light and of positive energy and of higher vibration in this space. Because if you weren't combating the energy in that way, if you weren't emanating such a powerful light, you wouldn't be feeling anxious. You wouldn't be feeling overwhelmed. You would feel like you fit right in with that environment. And I know you felt that as well, where sometimes you'll go to a place and it just resonates with your soul. By the way, those places are so beautiful and important to you. I would love to hear what that is for you. Maybe it's a space in your home, maybe it's a park or somewhere in nature, maybe it's actually a different city, or just like a place that just resonates with your soul, that feels high vibrational to you, that helps you to realign. That realignment and refreshment is so important for you as well. So that was just a bit of a side note, but let me know in the comments what that place is for you. I was just taking a pause there because the energy has been so powerful coming through this reading. I feel like this has been a really strong reframing for someone who may have been unconsciously dealing with this dynamic your entire life. Because I feel that it could be so powerful if every time you are experiencing something as an empath that used to make you feel victimized because of the physical sensations, when you're in the midst of the anxiety or the overwhelm or the panic or the ungroundedness, what if you reframe it? What if you tell yourself in that moment, this means I am carrying such a powerful light that I am quite literally triggering all of the shadow around me, all of the darkness around me. I am bringing light into this room. I am bringing light into this place or this city or this group or this location, or else I wouldn't be feeling all of that in my being. And isn't that such a beautiful thing that you have this powerful ability to sense and to transmute energy in a way that so few people do? I really feel like this gift of yours is truly rare. And I don't know if this is something someone's been dealing with recently. Maybe you've been feeling some of the anxiety side of that equation, some of the ungroundedness. But however this is coming up for you, if this is resonating, I really hope that you've received this. I hope it's been helpful for you. But I do want to pivot here. This is kind of a collective energy update. So you guys know these tend to kind of jump around. So let's shift gears and just get into the energy in a general sense. If you have any personal intentions for the reading, anything you'd like addressed or answered, you can set those intentions now, either internally thinking them to yourself, speaking them out loud, writing them down, putting them in the comments section, whatever works for you. These are all forms of energetic transference. Now, of course, liking the video and subscribing to the channel are also forms of energetic transference. So these could be ways for me to pick up more easily on your energy as well, but do whatever works best for you. So let's go ahead and shuffle here. And there is a card that wants to come out, Victory Reversed. So there's this feeling of defeat or hopelessness. I'm actually getting the word confusion. Now, this might be something within you. This also could be someone connected to you. And for many of you, I feel like this is an external energy, a person you're somehow connected to romantically, platonically, energetically, who is feeling confused, feeling a bit hopeless. And with blossoming abundance and yin yang reversed, okay, the reason this person is feeling hopeless is because they're being pushed into something new that they don't quite feel ready for. And yet it's something that they sense. It's something beautiful that they feel in their soul. I'm hearing their gut is pulling them into this, pulling them forward, but there's also this fear here. And that's what's leading to those feelings of like defeat. It's like, well, really their old reality, their old world, their old way of being is being defeated in essence to make room for this new thing that is being stepped into. With the yin yang card reversed, I feel this very strong spiritual pulling. Now, I have to say, you know, we do channel energies here, not necessarily just specific physical people, although of course specific physical people can connect with those energies. But what I'm really getting is the message coming through here today could connect with you internally or to some external person who is connected to you in some way. For some of you, it could be both. So if this is connecting internally, I feel as though you're leaving behind some old world or some version of yourself, and you're feeling that collapse. I'm hearing like you're feeling the collapse of that timeline within you. For some reason, I saw rubies in my mind's eye, which is really interesting. You know what? I am going to look up that symbolism because I do feel like there is some kind of powerful symbolism there. Let's check it out. Rubies are rich in symbolism across cultures associated with passion, power, and protection. So they often symbolize passion and love, especially romantic desire, believed to ignite or strengthen the flame of passion. Ooh, I'm hearing, wow, okay. So there's some divine intervention here, strengthening the passion or strengthening the love bond, the romantic bond between you and another person. If this is romantic for you, I feel as though it's almost like there is some kind of spiritual force or an orchestration of spiritual forces that is merging two things, like bringing two people together or bringing forward an outcome. Now, of course, this doesn't have to be romantic. For some of you, this could be speaking to some kind of divine intervention in your life that is actually bringing more passion out of you. I feel like you may be experiencing events or meeting people or having conversations that are literally like somehow amplifying your passion for something, for your life, for your soul mission, for yourself, like causing you to see things from a new perspective. But again, for others of you, I feel this very literally being that there's a divine intervention, which I keep hearing maybe coming in the form of a person. Like that is somehow bringing two people together or orchestrating circumstances to amplify the passion in a connection or in a situation. Again, take that however it connects. If this is an external person that we're speaking to here, I really feel like they're being pulled into a very strong soul. Well, I wanted to say soul calling, but then I wanted to say soul connection. And somehow suddenly those terms felt really intertwined in this context. Because what I'm getting is when they're following their soul calling, it naturally puts them in alignment with this soul connection that they're also feeling pulled into. It feels like this soul connection being in their life in a consistent real-time way is naturally aligned with them living in their soul purpose and vice versa. Those things just seem to be very intertwined. And yet there's so much fear here because of what they're leaving behind. Now, if this is applying to you internally, again, this could be your soul calling, something energetically that you can't quite fully see yet, pulling you into it, that may be surfacing as like this sense of longing for something unseen is what I'm getting here, that you can't fully tangibly touch or understand, or maybe even picture. There may be something about this you can't even fully visualize, and yet it's pulling you into it. So let's see what else we can pull about this situation, whether it's applying for you internally or externally. We have adjacent possibilities reversed. So it requires the closing of a door here. If this is you in your personal life, I'm hearing the closing of a door actually allows you to be more open and authentic, but in a more focused way, with the garden and the gate reversed. Or it lets you drop some kind of guard. Now we're going to feel into this because I know this is a bit strange. But what I'm getting here is there may be some kind of doorway that's like leaking your energy. And I'm hearing it's a door behind you. So it may be a door that doesn't even really have much of your focus or attention. Something that you've already left behind, but you didn't close the door. That's what's coming up here. Like something from your past, something you left behind, but you kind of left the door cracked open and it's leaking some of your focus, some of your energy. But it also seems to be subconsciously affecting you in some way. I'm hearing on high alert. It's almost like keeping this door cracked open is creating static in your subconscious or causing you to feel almost like you're on high alert because your subconscious is like aware that this door is still partially open, even if it's out of your line of sight, even if it's technically behind you or in your past. And so I feel that there's this sense of always having a little bit of your guard up because your subconscious is aware that this door hasn't been fully closed. I'm hearing closing the door brings peace. It's like when you close the door, you immediately feel this sigh of relief. You feel this peace overtaking you because you're aware that you're now able to focus your energy in a stronger, pure, more authentic, and more powerful way because you no longer have to be guarded by your subconscious being so aware of this open door. I'm hearing you're not gaining anything from the open door. So whatever this door is, if this message is for you, you intuitively will already know what this is. This feels like a situation where it's like, it's not really giving back to you in any kind of way. It's not really bringing fulfillment or true connection or support. It's not really supportive to, I'm hearing it's not supportive to who you are now, but it may have been a bridge to becoming who you are now. It may have supported you to get here. And maybe that's part of why it's been so hard to shut this door, because it supported you in becoming who you are now, that you are so proud of. You are glowing, you are thriving, you're on your soul path here, whatever that is for you, or you're beginning to align with that, even if you're not fully seeing it yet. But your subconscious is both feeling guarded by having this door from your past open, but also feeling this sense of distraction, or almost like this low hum of static because of having this door still open. Again, a door that isn't serving you, that's only taking from you at this point, that's really just a remnant or a representative of your past. And closing this door actually allows you to focus, and I saw 1919, to focus your energy more fully on your future, which is actually happening through your now, on who you are becoming. That's why the moment you close this door, you feel, I'm hearing, a greater amount of presence, like you can be more present with yourself, with your life, with people around you. You may immediately begin to feel some new inspired ideas flowing through. You may feel more creative, and you'll definitely feel this deep sense of peace and relief. But the interesting thing here is I'm trying to understand what the purpose of this door was. Yes, I feel like it was a bridge into who you are now. But I feel like there's something else here as well. I feel like I'm hearing people watch you through the door. So I almost feel as though this door is like some kind of connection point, like an outlet that people have to you, a point of contact, I'm hearing. Maybe it's a social media platform. Maybe it's like a version of yourself that's very much outdated, but people sometimes still try to access or connect with, and you've kind of allowed that version of yourself to remain a little bit open for those people from your past, even though it's really not who you are anymore. I know this is getting very nuanced and complex. For others of you, I'm just getting that somehow keeping this door open, either psychologically, mentally, emotionally, or literally, seems to keep this outlet open through which people can watch you or observe you or check in on you or access you in some way. But I'm hearing, why are they going through the door that's behind you instead of like supporting you where you are? And of course, a natural answer is because they haven't walked through that door themselves, because maybe they're still afraid to walk through that door. I feel like you've walked through a door into a higher version of yourself. You've elevated yourself in a way many people crave, but few people have the courage to do. And I feel that there are many, well, my guides are calling them cowards, but I know that's kind of strong wording. People who are afraid to step through some kind of door for themselves are still watching or observing you through this door that you've left cracked open. But the trade-off is, it's actually draining your energy. They may be gaining something out of it. I'm hearing they gain comfort and stability out of it. They feel like they can still have some measure of access to you without needing to elevate themselves in order to fully connect with you in a more meaningful and mutually supportive way. But it really isn't providing anything to you. Maybe there's been part of you that feels as though it's selfish to close this door because you know that this is the only outlet that certain energies have to you, but a strong message is coming through that it's time to, I want to say, to embody that kind of selfishness, but really to reframe that word selfish, to be someone who's so lit up and in love with themselves and self-empowered, full of themselves in the best kind of way, meaning you're fully in tune with yourself. Selfish in that sense. To reclaim that, because I feel that you've given so much to others for so long, and it's time to really protect your energy. In fact, it's actually necessary to ground yourself, because without that energetic protection around you, without closing doors to things that are leaking your energy, without reciprocating, your very precious, delicate balance of energy seems to get kind of thrown for a loop, because you do have this very high vibrational frequency, and it requires a higher level of care and support and reciprocity and maintenance than just, I wanted to say, like any ordinary energy. And that's not a put down, but it's just that you have this very rare frequency and you've worked for this frequency. You've honed this in, you've earned this vibration. And it's like the message is coming through. You've earned your place spiritually. Now protect it. Care for yourself enough to protect it in the ways that you need to. And it's going to render you very powerful. And what you are creating as you're able to then focus that energy in a more powerful way is in turn going to powerfully impact the planet. So I'm going to be reshuffling the cards here. Those felt like some very, very big messages coming through. So I'm actually going to go to the traditional tarot. We haven't really picked up any like hyper specific people or threads of energy. We kind of got into that briefly with that person that I said might be an internal energy, but could be an external person who is really feeling pulled into this soul connection, which for some of you could mean pulled into a soul connection with you, but they're dealing with a lot of fear from their past, of letting go of this old world and this old version of themselves. Now, I did get the number 1919 earlier, so I wanted to channel a quick message from this number, and this says, This number is about new beginnings, creative expression, and stepping into your soul mission with confidence, which is so beautiful because I feel that represents so much of the shift that so many of you are feeling on your journey. This can also be about a powerful new chapter beginning, but I'm getting very strongly as I read that the chapter is beginning first emotionally and energetically. And another message coming through is you're going to feel it viscerally. You're going to sense it energetically before you see it tangibly. So there is a measure of trust required here to trust what you're feeling and sensing before you're able to fully see it in the physical world. Okay, so let's reshuffle here and see who or what is connected to your energy. Okay, so with the Three of Pentacles reversed, there's the energy of delay here. You know, for some of you, I feel that this may be someone that was peeking through that doorway, like from your past, trying to kind of like observe you, watch you, keep tabs on you. And you could almost kind of sense that they were hovering in the doorway. Even though you weren't really focused on it, you've been focused forward, you've let that door kind of be behind you. There's still been this intuitive sense that something is aware of you, something's keeping tabs on you, something's watching you. And maybe that's part of why you left the door open, because there may still be love or care for this person or the desire to reconnect. So it's like you wanted to keep this outlet open in case, I'm hearing in case they ever change their mind. Maybe there was a decision that was made, but you can sense that they're hesitating, that they're unsure about their decision, that they're conflicted. And part of you wanted to keep that door open for that reason, so that if they did change their mind and decide to come forward, they could come through that door. But what I'm getting is this person or this energy has delayed and delayed. Now, for some of you, I could be talking about many people in your life, friends, family members, whoever this is for you. I just get a strong energy like you keep expecting them to do something, to contact you, to reach out, and they keep delaying it. Now, the interesting thing I'm getting here is, although your fear is telling you that if you close that door, you might lose this person or this opportunity forever, ironically, it seems that having the courage to fully close that door behind you pushes forward their transformation. It actually seems to speed up that process, which sounds very ironic because once the door is closed, there's a lot more effort to step through it. They actually have to take the action of opening it, moving through it, and connecting with you in that new space instead of just watching through the doorway. And yet, ironically, I feel that once that door is closed, it ignites this sense of longing and urgency that was actually there all along, but it was something that they were able to kind of dilute, to push down, telling themselves, well, I can always push this further down the line. Like the illusion of time was at play here. They could tell themselves that they always had time and they could kind of still get a hit of your energy by seeing you online or having some form of connection to you, having some access to you through that midway opened door. But once that door closes, it almost like creates this sense of urgency, and I'm hearing completely changes the timeline. Yeah, because then what I get here, this is so funny. We get the Six of Cups reversed. It's like they're finally now letting go of their own past and focusing on the future. And then we have the Knight of Wands. So they're also moving forward with passion and very quickly as well. The Knight of Wands is a fast-moving, forward-moving energy, and coming forward with some kind of an offer with the Knight of Cups. Yeah, so the message coming through here really strongly is don't be afraid to close the door because you're trying to give certain people some level of access to you or an outlet to communicate with you that they may not even necessarily really be using properly or in a reciprocated manner at this time. Because by closing that door fully, it's almost like you're signaling energetically in some way. You're signaling that you're protecting yourself, protecting your energy, and the value's been within you all along, but in the action of closing the door, it actually signals that intrinsic value of you to this other person or to this other energy in a new way. But the key is closing the door not out of vengeance or out of any kind of negative will towards the other, but closing it out of love for yourself, out of protection for yourself, which is exactly the motivation I feel behind your action in closing that door and why it makes it so powerful. If this is a romantic situation, I actually see this person quickly coming forward with some kind of romantic offer or expression. And while they seem to then want to move forward very quickly, the offer itself seems to be steady and stable and something that could potentially be very long-term and reciprocated. That's the key here with the Six of Pentacles. Closing this doorway to an outlet of access that this person or energy may have utilized to connect with you in a way that was non-reciprocated in the past, that wasn't really supporting you. Closing that door ironically opens the way. It clears the space for a potential connection that actually is very balanced. That's what I see represented with the Six of Pentacles. And beautiful as well with the Six of Wands. This feels like a beautiful, high vibrational, very celebratory energy. Wow. Very powerful messages coming through here. So I'm really liking this thread of energy. I'm going to continue this in the extended reading. So we're going to dive deeper into who this person is that seems to come forward when you close a door, how they're feeling towards you, what they're thinking about you, how this may potentially move forward. We're also going to be taking a look at your aura generally and picking up on any other threads of energy, people, or pieces of information that want to come through there as well. So if you are liking this reading and you're feeling guided to join me in the extended, you can listen either here on YouTube memberships or on Patreon, just depending on your preference. And I will leave a link to both places that you can listen under this video in the pinned comment and description box. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and close the reading here. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Of course, I would love for you to subscribe if you haven't yet. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. And if you have anything to share with me in the comments, I would love to hear from you there as well. Otherwise, I'm sending you all huge amounts of love and light energy. Have an amazing remainder of your day, and I will connect with you here again in the next video.